Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Halftime Pie podcast. My name is Eddie Balls. I'm joined by Dan, Dantison, and Savage. How are you doing, fellas?
Yeah, good. It's glad to be doing a second episode. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Been a good week. Been a lot of big results this week as well.
Yes, lots of football. Always lots of football. And thanks for coming back, Savage.
Yeah, I had to
know
cancel
was-
that transfer. Those proposals were just not good. Not good. You know,
Yeah.
they wouldn't offer me a halftime pie.
No. That's, you're a simple man, aren't you? It's the little things in life which drive you on. But yeah, I think, glad to have you here. But at the same time, knowing that you don't really want to be here is a bit devastating, to be honest.
Yeah,
yeah, we'll just put up with it.
I'm trying my best to hold it together. Like, I am tempted to leave right now.
Yeah, you're just going to hang up at any point.
I'm glad you made it at least this far, Savage. I've been a week of great anticipation waiting to see if you'd be back with us this week, and I'm glad to see that you are, even if it is only momentarily. We hope you can make the full show, but
I'll see. If I go quiet for a very long period, I've decided to quit, and I'm now selling stories to the papers.
Just a quick note on our close friend TJ, who is not with us this week as he's on special business. I know we've got a dedicated following in Papua New Guinea now. We're keen to learn as much as we can about their football heritage, which is why TJ is currently over there at the moment doing some scouting for us. No initial reports, but if anything does come through, we will be sure to update you.
I have had a quick note through from TJ to say that he'd arrived safely in Port Moresby, and that he was getting set up there to do some scouting ahead of the league starting in July. So we'll be keeping up to it with all the Papua New Guinea National League news in the build up to that much awaited season. And again, it just goes to show the dedication that the hosts here on the Halftime Pie have got, that they can drop things at the drop of a hat, go to Papua New Guinea, start scouting to bring you that news.
Oh, we do have unlimited resources. We really do. We do have. We're backed by Mr. Billionaires, so for legal purposes, I'm not going to name them. Don't talk about Uncle Todd. Yeah, we can't mention his name.
I will.
We'll edit that
Todd
out.
Bowley is all over us.
We will be sending members of the Halftime Pie around the globe, bringing you the latest news. And I believe he's also on the lookout for Kate Middleton as well. So if he finds her...
all the bases covered. And again, we just want to thank, for the purposes of him remaining anonymous, our benefactor, Bodd Toehly.
All praise Bodd. I think something we'll want to discuss is the Premier League. 10 games left, 3-way title race, 1 point. It's Hollywood stuff. So I can't really tell which way it's going to go. Can Arsenal maintain the pace? Will Klopp get that fairy tale ending? Or will City do it again for the 4th time in a row?
Yeah, the record-breaking 4th time.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, gentlemen?
On my thing, I'll just kick it off by saying that I seriously think that Arsenal will win. I think they'll take the Premier League. I think City, I think City will slip. And now I think Edison might be out. I'm sure he got an injury. I might be wrong, but I'm sure he picked up a knock.
It could be an important miss if he was out for a few games, especially in the running.
Yeah.
It could be important.
Ali Becker's out for a bit for Liverpool, I think.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And Arsenal are just on form. They clinically took out Sheffield United this past Monday.
I must admit, Arsenal towards the end of last season, I actually wanted him to win the league, but I didn't think they would, and they didn't. They did what I thought that they would do. This season, I thought they'd do the same again, and it'd probably, I thought it'd probably have happened earlier, to be honest. But then they've been scoring loads of goals, getting 4s and 5s and 6s every week. I watched the Brentford game, and there was 1-0 up, and Ramsdale gave away a dodgy goal that I think it was all his fault. It might have been his concentration that he said he struggles with, but he brought that on them, and then for the rest of the match, he looked like he was sweating. Havertz saved him towards the end, and kept them going again. So I expected it to be something like that would happen, that would trip them up. Something like that did happen, and they managed to do it again. There was a stage where they were scoring a lot of late goals and snatching points, and I thought they'd struggle if they had to do that all the way to the end of the season, but they've not been. They've been scoring lots of goals, so
It's the same with Liverpool. How many
I'd
times?
probably, if I had to put my money on it, I would probably say City still, just for out of habit now. They've won 3 in a row. It's hard to sort of think that someone will take it off them. But give Arsenal more and more credit every week. They are in the conversation. I think they have got a good chance to do it. I really do.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could go against them is they've got previous for bottling it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They've got. I think if you look at the fixtures, Tottenham away, that's a potential banana skin. I think
Timo Werner starting to come on form as well, which you wouldn't expect, but he is starting to score.
But I think if you look at the other fixtures that City have, I think you might be right there, Dan. They could, looking at their fixtures, they could win every single one. And I think with Liverpool, you never know what you're going to get, but they always seem to pull out results. So I honestly do not have a clue how it's going to go.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very close. And looking at City's kind of final fixtures after Tottenham, they seem like easy games. You know, the only one, Fulham could be a bogey team, and West Ham.
As it stands at the moment, with the last 4 games for each team being as they are, I think each team have got one game that needs to be slotted in. That's been postponed through the FA Cup games this weekend.
Yeah.
But looking at the others as it stands, I think you're right. I think City have got the easiest looking run in of the last few matches, with Forest, Wolves, Fulham, West Ham. Although West Ham on the last day at City's ground though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that could be. It's going to go either way, isn't it? Like they'll either destroy them or they'll end up drawing.
As you said, Arsenal's last 4 games have got Tottenham and United in there, which they could win both of those, but tough matches. And Liverpool's last 4, again, are pretty tough. West Ham, and then
I think it is tough. That Aston
Tottenham
Villa.
and Villa.
Yeah, that's that.
And Wolves last.
Yeah. Wolves could cause an upset. You know, they're very capable.
Do you want to make a prediction now? Say if you were to move it to 5 games to go with these 3, is it still going to be the same situation? Is it still going to be 3 teams in it, or which one is likely to drop off?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
It's just,
I think with
on,
Arsenal and City playing each other in the next 5 games, I think that probably is the next game. Obviously, that could have a bit of a swing on the points, but then after that game for Arsenal, after they play the City match, they've got Luton, Brighton, Villa at the Emirates, and then Wolves. I think they probably get good results from those, so I don't think that it necessarily puts them out of contention.
It all depends on the goalkeeper situation as well. If Edison is out, their backup keeper, second choice, he's not had many Premier League games, and they may seem easy, these games that are coming up, but you never know what will happen with a keeper that's inexperienced.
I think the way that they play, the keeper for them is very important, and especially in the build-up and playing out and stuff. So changing him around won't be ideal for them.
But then the
really
defense
tough looking at Liverpool's games. I mean, they play United in the next 5, but you'd probably expect them to beat us based on recent form.
Definitely.
At Anfield as well. Oh no, is this at Old Trafford? That's at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Either or, to be honest.
That Brighton game as well, you know, they've got some talented players, Brighton, and you know how Pedro could easily get a goal against a Liverpool. Well, their keeper is pretty good, to be fair. Who's replacing like Alisson at the moment? He's not done too bad. Yeah. He's impressed me quite a bit, and I don't know what will happen. I know we'll talk about it later post Klopp, but that kid's probably got a kind of a bright future at Liverpool if Alisson decides to leave as well.
Does the fact that Liverpool don't have Champions League give them an edge?
I considered this with Arsenal playing Porto in the week, that they needed a result to go through, and they got one. They went through on penalties, I think, in the end. But I wondered, does that help them in chasing the league?
I don't know. It's
just in terms of keeping winning momentum going. You've gone through, everyone's on a high, well done. But then you've got to play 2 more games midweek and travel somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. I think it doesn't. I think either Champions League or Europa League, the travelling, like Dan said, it will affect them. It's still an extra game. And if it goes to like Arsenal's game a few nights ago, it went to penalties. Of course, I know it's a home game, but it's still extra playing time that they've had.
More running, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the game at the weekend.
I just think what would be amazing would be a final day shootout
between all three.
All three playing at home against teams they should feel like they'll win, but with the added pressure of trying to keep an eye on other people's scores, looking after their own business. I think it'll just be chaos, and I think, well, I like to say, from a neutral's perspective, probably not from ours, being people outside of the title picture. But yeah, I think it'll be amazing. Well, who knows what could happen?
The thing is, my mistake before it's FA Cup weekend, so Arsenal have got a good 2-week period to kind of get their act together, because as soon as they come back, it's the big Super Sunday. So it's City and Arsenal at 4:30, and Liverpool versus Brighton on that 31st of March. So that Easter weekend.
It is just so tough to call. Like I say, just based on past experience and Arsenal having high hopes and then it not working out, I expected them to fall away, and it still could happen. But
I think
against the sort of the past run, I'm hoping that they'll sort of keep the form going well, keep the points going in line with what the others are getting, and then, like Eddie said, at the end of the season, the last day or the last couple of games, every one of them will still be in it.
Yeah. I mean, we're all praying Aston Villa win every game until the end of the season and somehow win it, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Just touching on the FA Cup, I did notice that for the United Liverpool game, Graham Souness is going to be on ITV. If you fancy just seeing how angry he is and how much he hates United.
What about Paul Pogba? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, where was he
exactly?
And where's he in this title race, Dede? Come on.
What's he contributed this season?
What's he contributed?
Good point.
I know he's got a ban, but come on. What has he contributed?
He wasn't banned for the whole season, was he?
No, he wasn't. That's true.
Just out of interest, is the game on any other channels where Graham Souness isn't presenting it? Or is that my only option?
I think that's it, you know.
Yeah, we're stuck with Souness.
I'm trying to find it on the radio.
Back to that City and Arsenal game, do you think that will be the decider for City, whether or not they're going to actually keep the challenge up? If they get a draw or lose? If they lose, is it game over? or if they draw, have they still got a chance?
I don't think it is. I think, to to be honest with you, I think either one of them can probably afford to lose that game and still not be out of it. I think a loss is probably more damaging for Arsenal than it is for City, probably mentally as well.
Well, yeah,
If that happens with 10 games left
yeah,
and then they lose and City go back to the top of the league after that result, or go joint top with Liverpool if they win their game on the same weekend,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I think it might be more damaging to Arsenal. But still, I don't think it's out of the question just because it's only one result. And then if you get back within a point, anything can happen. Like you said, if it goes to the last weekend, and it just means that you can get weird games where you get 50
Random
shots on
results.
goal and none of them go in. So I don't think one necessarily puts them out of it.
But
But at
then
the same time,
if
by the
the
time we get there, it could quite easily be a different picture. Just because, like I said, one bad weekend or two in a row, and it could look a lot different, and you look out of it again.
if City did lose that match against Arsenal, then they go into another home game the week after, which is Aston Villa. And Villa will be like City being a wounded animal, basically. You know, Aston Villa can then pounce and go, you know what, we got a chance here now. Let's go for it. And you know what the form that I know they had a bad weekend against Tottenham, and that was at home. But they want to keep fighting for Champions League football. So it's going to be, and if Edison's not going to be playing in net, they're just good. Ollie Watkins, come on, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn.
Oh no!
So, I said his
Although
name.
he's been missing a couple of games now because he's banned.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
point taken. It's interesting that looking at the fixtures, there's a few teams that play all three of the contenders. Villa being one of them, Tottenham being another. And I think Brighton being another. So there's a few teams who could have a say in this, depending on the results. But like I say, I think Villa, like I said, they got a bad result, but you wouldn't write them off because they've looked so solid all season. I would think that would be a blip rather than necessarily sort of making you think it's the start of a collapse.
Yeah, I mean, with that attack and Watkins, and I think, I mean, especially City, they've looked vulnerable this season, more vulnerable than usual.
Yeah.
I know when United played them the other day, that we had chances against them, and I've seen that all season. Really, I think they've been a lot more open. So yeah, I think that one's definitely one to watch out for.
Are we undercounting the Klopp factor in this analysis? Do you think of where this might go? Do you think that just it's Klopp's last 10 games, the players will do anything to make sure that they win it? And like you said, even if they don't play that well, they get less is another thing, isn't it? I'm sure everyone, including the Premier League, and potentially some of the referees,
as with
might like it if it was a fairy tale finish to Klopp's time in England and he won by winning the league.
It's like,
do you know what it's going to be like? It's going to be like Abu Dhabi 2021 in the F1, where they'll, I think Liverpool are going to be Red Bull. They'll be 4 points behind with one game left, and then points deductions, bang.
So after we spoke last week, the next day, if you remember, there was a game that important in the title race to see if Arsenal would stay in it. They needed to play Sheffield United, and they went on to win that game with a big result.
Just to re-jog my memory, just get my brain muscles working. Go on.
It was the Monday Night Football. Arsenal went on to win that game. I think it was 5-1. And in the aftermath of that game, I managed to get in touch with Sheffield United captain Jimmy Muir.
Whoa!
Legend of the game.
Whoa! You got in touch with Jimmy Muir.
Indeed. It's hard to believe, I know, but he'd heard about the podcast already.
Okay.
And he was eager to be a part of it. One of our couple of audience members must have spread the word, and Jimmy knew. And he agreed to do a short interview with us today.
Wow. This
Yeah.
is an
Exactly.
this is an exclusive, I guess.
I'm
No other pod's
shaking.
got this.
No other pod's got this.
This is an exclusive. Like I think he turned down TalkSport. You
The
know,
other-
he's turned down Match of the Day.
Wow.
The overlap.
Yeah. Oh. So DV Jimmy Muir is going to be on our
He's-
second
in fact,
episode.
I think
That's
he's
right.
he's coming through. I think he's coming through now. I know there's a little bit of a time delay due to the time
Okay.
difference between here and Sheffield. But Jimmy, are you there?
Morning, all.
Oh, Jimmy, welcome.
Good evening, Jimmy. So we know that result against Arsenal didn't go to plan. Unfortunately, you was carrying an injury and missed that game, so couldn't take part on the pitch. But we did hear that you gave a powerful motivational speech before the game to your teammates. Again, it unfortunately didn't pay off, but we just wondered if you could give us sort of a quick flavour of what you said in there to inspire the players.
For Yorkshire!
Wow. I've got
Powerful
goosebumps.
stuff.
That was Braveheart level of
I can only put the blame for that result on your teammates, Jimmy. After much so motivational words as that, I can hardly believe the result went so badly. Also, it was mentioned to me this week that you're actually quite close friends with John McGinn, the Arsenal player, Aston Villa player, and you'd heard about some sort of not the kindest words that Savage had said about John last week on the podcast.
been taken out of context.
And obviously, John's
Beef.
gone on to have a bad week and get sent off against Tottenham. And
His head's gone.
was it 4-1 in that game?
I think it might have been
Yeah, it's not gone to
4-0.
plan. So we wanted to see if you had an opinion of Savage that you could share with us.
You crafty little bastard.
Strong stuff, that Jimmy.
Very strong. I'm offended. Jimmy, you've made the list.
Oh, he's just hung up. Yeah, that did not go to plan.
I don't know.
I had such high hopes for Jimmy's appearance, and we've developed personal issues already. I'll have to try and catch up with him during the week and smooth this over, Savage.
Yeah, maybe for next episode we can invite him back and have a truce. You know,
I only hope so.
You know, that sort of thing. I feel bad. I feel really bad.
You should do. You really should.
I feel like I've let the pod down and it all stems from John McGinn. But that the blame has to be laid on John as well.
Well, let's not push this any further. We're trying to smooth things over.
Put the shovel down, Savage.
I feel like I'm being the scapegoat here, and my hero, Mr. Jimmy Muir, has been a dream to speak to, and he called me a crafty little bastard in his Yorkshire accent.
But was that not like it might have been a term of endearment? Like he might have. I don't know. I know he hung up, but
kind of like the Artful Dodger type of thing.
It might have been appreciative of your skills.
My bastard skills.
Yeah. He does love a good bastard, doesn't he? Am I right, Savage?
Can I just say, didn't he get his head chopped off at one point, that guy?
To be honest, from what I've seen, Jimmy's, suffered many a demise. I know that he died in South America, falling from an antenna shortly after his debut for Sheffield United. He also had his head cut off in Winterfell. Yeah.
I think it was that injury that kept him out for this Arsenal game. He's on the mend though, and he'll be back shortly.
Has he got Pep's medical team in the background?
He has. He's got them on speed dial.
I see what he did there. Speed dial.
The game this weekend, Sheffield's game this weekend, is postponed because United have got a cup match. So when this Saturday comes, Jimmy would have the weekend off anyway.
Let's talk about the Euros. So I know they've announced another England squad. And yet again, Jordan Henderson's in there because he's still breathing.
This is one that I wanted to ask about straight away. I thought we could have a quick look through the squad, but straight away, we don't have to go player by player, but just Jordan Pickford amongst the goalkeepers, he's likely to be the one who's starting. Would you both pick him, and would you both start him?
I would. He's got the experience, and he always performs. It seems at the tournaments in the recent ones anyway, where he has started. So yeah, I'd start him.
I think I would for now. Yeah, I don't think there's a better alternative. And it seems as though I think I said to somebody the other day about Pickford. He's not been picked up by a top team, but he continues to be like England's number one. And I think he's just he's the best we've got. Not a slight against him. He's a good goalkeeper, but I don't think he's elite.
No, I don't. I thought that we could do better potentially. I think I always thought he was a bit erratic, and he gets into it with the crowd too much, and
yeah,
I don't know.
Do you know, it reminds me of just his playing style, and he's left-footed as well. Bartes.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, now you mention it. Yeah, well, funny enough, I was going to say the other keepers in the squad are Sam Johnson from Palace and Ramsdale from Arsenal. And I would have thought that Ramsdale had a decent chance, but
I mean,
if you'd have asked me this 2 years ago, but now I think he's he's more like that than Pickford is. He's the same. He gets into it with the crowd and stuff. And I think, like we said, he's talked about he struggles to concentrate for a full match, and having a bit of banter and stuff keeps him on the ball. But I don't want that from a goalkeeper. And look, City's keeper don't do that. Liverpool's keeper don't do that. They just stand in front of the net and be in the right place when they need to. And when something happens and they need to save it, they save it. But they don't turn around and start winding up the other team's fans between while the ball's in play, and you think, what are you doing? I don't know.
I think, to be fair, there's every chance that he'll forget to turn up with his concentration. So
yeah.
What a stupid thing to say for a professional goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting that shortly after he said that, Arsenal went and bought David Raya, and he's sort of been starting more of the games, I think, and Ramsdale is rotating. But maybe he'll be back in after for the next league games. But after that mistake last week, he didn't play in the Champions League. I don't know if they've been doing that all season and they play Raya in every Champions League game. Maybe they do, but
I think
it seems a weird thing to say, especially for a keeper.
I think Nick Pope, without the injuries, he would have been a good bet to take to the Euros.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he'd have been an option as well, but
it's just the injuries at the moment, and it's keeping him out of the Newcastle game. Especially...
What about what was he called? Henderson. He's not been in the conversation really, has he? Considering.
Boo.
No, and I think at the moment it's as if, I don't know, Sam Johnson and Dean Henderson are like the same person in terms of I can't really tell the difference.
You don't see him in the same room.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But, yeah, I mean, it's either one or the other, I suppose.
He backed himself to like, I'll go and show you, but it's sort of not paid off so far.
Yeah,
it must be something with English goalkeepers like Joe Hart and Ramsdale, Henderson, this confidence and bottling it. Just
maybe that's why you need that in you sort of the top couple who we've got to pick from and like that, and they do get into it. Look at the crowd. Maybe it's a personality thing, and to not get crushed by the pressure, you need to be a bit like that. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. You see keepers like Cech and Van der Sar who are just pretty cool. and
Just
like composed, and I think like I don't know. I know he's not been great, but like Onana is quite cool. I think when he's not making errors.
I think he's got a bit of an eccentric style, but yeah, I think I agree. I don't think he sort of gets distracted in that way.
No,
No, I don't
maybe
think you do.
Ramsdale. What he needs is a mobile phone sellotaped to his arm so he can go on Twitter when the ball's not coming towards him.
I was thinking more like like blinders that they put on a horse so he can't see to either side, and it'll just keep him focused on the game.
I think that might be a good a good shout there.
Czech wore that mask, so can they not rig up something similar?
You know what? They've got those Apple headsets now, aren't they? So I'm pretty sure you can stick one of them on him. He can be watching like a box set while he's playing.
It wouldn't hurt to try,
You never know. Give it a try. We'll see if it improves the performance.
And looking at the rest of the squad, I think it's quite a strong squad, to be fair.
I look at that midfield, and I still think it's a bit light.
Out of the outfield areas where it's split defenders, midfielder, forwards, and obviously they've put forwards, but that's going to be probably one in the middle and two wingers, and then midfielders are going to be the guys who play in more central positions, actually deeper in midfield.
Yeah,
that looks a bit ropey compared to some of the others. And just to go through them, Bellingham, which is no-brainer, he's going to get picked and he's going to start. Conor Gallagher, Henderson, Maddison, and Rice.
Do you think we're going to go down the wingers route then, with like Foden there? You got Rashford and Saka, those type of players being on the wings.
I think they've got some good options. Like if you played Rice, Bellingham, and one other, depending on who you was setting up against, and if you wanted to be more attacking or sit back a bit, and with the players that they've picked, you could put Rice sitting deeper and Bellingham and Maddison a bit further forward, or Rice and Henderson deeper and Bellingham a bit further forward.
It's going to be Henderson in that midfield.
And then
that's a given.
There's every chance, isn't there?
Yeah. These two games.
You've got to think. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say that these two games that are coming up are friendlies, and I think in the long term, Mainu is probably going to be quite a good player. I think, putting it lightly. Why wouldn't you give him a chance instead of Henderson? Like, what's the benefit in taking Henderson?
Yeah, give him his first cap.
I don't think in any of the England friendlies that I've watched, and I must admit I haven't watched all of them, but a good proportion, he doesn't tend to do out of the ordinary things like you would think. Why not just try this guy and see? Like, I might not pick him for the tournament, but like you said, this is a friendly. Let's play Maddison there or whatever. Let's call up whoever and play him. And he sometimes took people, but then he still tends to start the same as he'd been used to doing.
Yeah.
And I think he'd said that he'd pick people based on form, and there's no question that there's been times when players who've been making the 11 for England have been suffering bad form for the club teams. So I don't know. I think it makes sense that you would think he would try out something different, but just from previous
he's got that
Southgate times in charge, he doesn't seem to like to do that. He seems to like to stick with what he knows, even in friendlies. And
he can't do that at the Euros, though. Surely, I mean, I think for him now with that group of players, this is like, not. I don't know if it's a golden generation, but it's on paper.
I think that attacking options looks as strong as it's been for a long time for an England manager to be able to pick from. And then just to go from them and the way we'd expect them to set up, it's probably going to be Kane in the middle with a winger either side. And I'd probably guess that'd be Foden and Saka. But then they've got Andy Gordon from Newcastle, Bowen, Cole Palmer from Chelsea, who's been doing really well, Rashford, Ivan Toney as another option up front, and Ollie Watkins. Seems like a lot of depth to pick from there. I think, like we said, the midfield looks the weakest out of the departments, but lots of options.
You can say that, and I know that's the thing. But looking at whatever formation he's going to use, obviously, I think it's going to be three in the middle, which is I think Bellingham, Henderson as a given, and Declan Rice. And if we're going to go down the wingers route, then you have it kind of is. It makes sense to have those type of options. I think it's going to be that type of formation where we have the wingers going inside as attacking prospects for to help out the forward, which will be Kane.
Is anyone surprised that there's no Sterling?
A little bit, considering he's picked Henderson and Maguire. Like Maguire, not so much just because I think fair plays played himself back into contention. Henderson, I think, although he's got that move to Ajax, it's his age, and also you've got to think long term. Like it's not just a case of stick to what you know. Like Mainu, give him a chance. Like I think like him and Bellingham and Rice in a midfield three could work really well because I think Mainu's really good at ball retention. He's cool. Even Rice sitting in like a bit of a double pivot with Bellingham going forward like he does for Madrid.
Yeah.
So I think that's on paper that's pretty tasty. But
I'm just thinking. Okay, Henderson has gone to Ajax. Okay. Do you think he might be on the Erik ten Hag shopping list?
If anyone's told him that you can't sign ex-Liverpool players wherever they've been in the meantime, then definitely not.
Well, stranger things have happened.
We've had Michael Owen, He was Liverpool poster boy at one time, which, if you'd have asked me then, would that ever happen, I'd have said definitely not, but I'd have been proven wrong.
Oh, yeah. So you expect next season Jordan Henderson to be in that midfield?
Starting with Gareth Southgate in charge and maybe starting instead of Maynard.
Sterling propping up the right wing.
Replacing Sancho, yeah.
Yep. Oh, God, we're predicting the future.
We're always looking to bring in people who know the game, who've got knowledge of transfers, and we've been around the block a bit. And this segment is dedicated to the one and only Harry Redknapp in Harry Redknapp's Price is Right.
Long time no see.
So in this quiz, guys, we're going to go through a higher or lower style set of questions. I'm going to give you three sets of transfers, and you need to tell me which is the higher or lower. And if you guess correctly, then I think Harry will let you know by saying...
Nico Cranshaw, what a player you were, Nico. Great ability.
But if your knowledge isn't quite up to scratch and you rub Harry up the wrong way, I'll let you know by saying...
Fuck off.
So you're all clear on the rules.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All clear. Definitely.
Savage, we'll start with you then. So I'm going to go through a list of players that Harry Redknapp has signed. This is signed, not sold. Although it could be the same one. To be fair, he's been through that many. He is
he's a wheelie dealer.
So I'll give you your first one. So out of these two, which was signed for the hire, Robbie Keane or Jermaine Defoe?
Oh,
On Jermaine
I'm
Defoe.
going to go Jermaine Defoe.
Harry, can you confirm if that's right?
Fuck off.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry, Harry.
boom. Oh, damn it.
Was that Robbie Keane
How
going to
much? You've
Tottenham
got
and
the
Jermaine Defoe going to
amounts
Portsmouth?
there?
That was, yes.
Oh, right.
So that was Robbie
I was
Keane.
looking at it the other way around for some reason.
So I've got this in euros because I know we're going to be streamed across Europe.
Who knows what currency he paid with?
Yeah, Japanese yen. It could be anything. So 16. It could be Monopoly money for all we know. An IOU. Robbie Keane, 16.7 million euros. Jermaine Defoe, 16.4. So,
that was close.
It was close.
Ooh, quite close.
Are you ready for your next one?
Wow. Okay.
So,
Yep.
Kyle Walker
Come on, Harry.
or David Nugent?
Oh God. Oh.
Torn.
So this is okay. I am torn because I don't think this is going to be even close.
You are.
I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go David Nugent.
Right. Let's see if you've appeased the redknapp.
Nico Cranshaw, what a player you were, Nico. Great ability.
Correct.
Oh,
Nico.
Great work.
Nico Cranshaw, indeed.
Oh,
David
yes,
Nugent was
there we
signed
go.
for 9 million euros.
Oh.
Kyle Walker
Wow.
was signed for 5.9 million euros. So
We know you
Wow.
got a better end of the
Wow,
bargain there,
okay.
although Harry signed them both.
bargain that for Kyle Walker.
I thought David Nugent was like 2.8 million.
Yeah. Yeah,
I still thought he'd have been more.
At first, I
honest
thought
with you.
same, and I thought,
I thought
Kyle
he'd have got
Walker
him
was
for
less.
2.8, and Walker's would have been less because he was younger. But
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I
quite a lot.
didn't think it was going to be that
you've got
high
conversion rate, but still
for Nugent.
quite high.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is in Japanese yen, but
high,
probably
yeah.
a billion or something.
Yeah.
For your third one,
I think it could be
Savage, so close personal friend of the show, Ian Dowie or Slaven Bilic?
Ooh. Oh. Well, Bilic, I think, would have been during the World Cup '98 era, I'd say, of type of player. Maybe I'm wrong. So his price would have been quite high when he was playing.
Okay.
So I'm going for Bilic.
Let's see. Is that correct or is it wrong?
Nico Cranshaw, what a player you were, Nico. Great ability.
It loves Nico Cranshaw. Correct.
Nice.
Slaven Bilic, 1.6 million euros. Ian Dowie, 600 grand.
Ooh, well, there you go. Was Cranshaw same nationality
Croatian,
as Bilic?
Yes. And
I think,
Modric as well. He must have had a discount going on in Hajduk Split or wherever he got him from like a warehouse in Croatia. So you got 2 out of 3. So yeah, not bad. Got a good
work.
Comeback that from a pretty poor start. But
thank you.
The pressure's on you now, Dan.
Yeah.
So I know you lost last week. Can you redeem yourself? You're gonna have to be perfect here.
Yeah. We're gonna get a 1-1 here, Dan. Come on, pressure's on.
First one. I'm not going to use his real name. The Wardrobe. And
Papa Booba John.
That's the one. And Freddie Canute.
Oh.
I think he paid more for Canute.
Did he, Harry?
Nico Cranshaw, what a player you were, Nico. Great ability.
Strong start there, Dan. Freddie Canute, 5.6. The Wardrobe was purchased from IKEA for 5 million.
Was that to Canute to Tottenham and the wardrobes of Fulham? Oh no, where was it? Where did he buy?
I think he bought him for Portsmouth. I'm going to say.
I think you're right. Oh, you did. He scored past us. He scored a
Can
belter past
imagine.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was on holiday somewhere. I
I
remember
think I
watching
remember
that.
that actually. No.
Yeah, he always scored from about 40 yards out, didn't
Yeah.
he? The next one, and while we're on the topic of people who scored against us, Paolo One Chop A,
Oh.
or One Chop if you're from Salford, and Rigobert Song. He did.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't he play for Liverpool? That might have given you kind of a clue there, maybe between the transfers between them both clubs.
I'm leaning towards One Chop.
Are you One Chop?
I'm thinking he took him to West Ham.
Okay.
I'll go for One Chop.
Okay, that's your final answer.
Yeah.
Like, this is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Was it One Chop, Harry?
Oh,
Nico Cranshaw, what a player you was, Nico.
Oh,
Great
2 for 2.
ability.
oh,
Well done.
well played.
One Chop signed
Well
for
played.
5.3 million euros.
Well played.
Rigobert Song signed for 4.1. This is the
difference there.
The
pretty
decider,
much.
I think. So
Here it
final
is,
one.
yeah.
Robot Lanky Man Peter Crouch or Benjani?
That Benjani story is brilliant, by the way, if you've ever had to hear it.
For some reason, I think he paid quite a lot of money for Benjani. I'll go for Benjani.
Going for Benjani. Let's see. Was it Benjani?
Fuck off.
Oh.
Oh, did we get a tiebreaker thing? It's one. We're both like 1-1 on that.
I think we'll find something, definitely. But Crouch was signed for 10.5 million euros. Benjani signed for 6.
Ooh. Wow.
In terms of a tiebreaker,
massive difference.
I don't have anything to hand, but let me see if I can find something on Google, because that's just the kind of professional things we do here. In fact, no, I've got one.
Friend.
So, I will ask, and the first person to shout wins. Okay. So, how many times did Harry Redknapp sign Peter Crouch?
Twice.
Twice.
Nope. Nope.
3 times.
4 times.
Nico Cranshaw, what a player you was, Nico. Great ability.
I can't believe it.
Oh, well played.
Was it 3 times, really? I didn't even know that before.
I love how you use your like detective skills there to wind it down from
by process of elimination and using all the logic available to me. I whittled it down.
You did. So I think he's signing for Portsmouth, Spurs, and another team which I don't know, but did read before I put this together. So you just have to take my word for it.
Was it a team in
Papua
New Guinea?
There's every chance that our Redknapp's managed Papua New Guinea. There's probably when TJ gives us a bit more of an update, hopefully he'll have found the national stadiums named after him. The Harry Redknapp,
I hope so. I really
transfer
do.
deadline day stadium.
The stadium entrance is a big car door with a window arm down.
Yeah, I was going to say the statue outside is Harry's car with him in it, a bronze statue.
The Nico
with the window
Crunchar
down.
stand, Luka Modric stand.
It's a Nico Crunch's other stand.
Just the stand for the amount of times he's signed the player.
that would actually make my day if that top
Well,
eight.
we'll wait.
So after all that drama, we won all then after that round.
Yeah, it's a good comeback.
We won all.
I'm quite impressed that you got.
Yeah,
all
it's
this
heart-stopping stuff.
It really is. And, that's just the type of entertainment you're going to get on the halftime pie. It's not only is it insightful, it's
Sav versus Dan.
It really is.
It is. That was the most intense. I was sweating. My brow was
for
full of sweat.
The conversation I'm going to have shortly to try and win Jimmy Muir back over after the start that we had. So I think I'm in good shape for that. I'll jump on that straight away.
Is he going to be back? I think that's
I
you just have to join in next time. But
I can't make any promises. I can only do my best, but who knows?
Just put in a few good words, Dan. That's all I ask. I can't have the kind of bombshell at the start that happened. It was terrible. I felt bad.
Just
any
last words from you, Harry? Are you going to get back into management soon?
Fuck off.
Okay, all right. Jesus. Right.
Fair enough. It's gone to its
it
head.
Really
all
has.
This kind of being on TV.
Okay. Well, it's not going well for us lads, is it? Like, see, we can piss off next week.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
But we've got some achievements. It's only been 2 episodes, and we've already got a list.
That's true.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's. Have we got any sound bites from John McGinn?
To us. Do you know what? It seems to be that's the way to be like shocking and outrageous. But I think the people that are doing it are actually trying to, whereas we're just doing it naturally.
It just comes naturally, doesn't it? All the conversations at the beginning were natural. They're
no performance enhancing,
no manipulation whatsoever.
Speech used in this podcast.
Speech.
Maybe next week.
I think that's obvious.
Yeah. We'll do one for charity where we'll take narcotics and yeah. Wow, what we're going to do on Christmas.
For the Christmas episode. Oof, it's a long way off. I thought it wouldn't go this
You was not planning to make the end of the episode at the start of the episode, and now you're looking at what we're going to do for a Christmas party.
Well, we'll just have a couple of shots and see what happens.
I think that's probably a
let it run.
But good. It's a high point to end on, knowing Savage just signed up for another. You've signed up for another.
I'm so confident.
11 months or whatever it is until Christmas. So yeah, there's always that.
See, you condemned the Jimmy Muir appearance, but it's resulted in a 180-degree turnaround.
Yeah,
well, yeah. Can we get one last Jimmy Muir?
I've had a voicemail actually. I think he's been drinking. I'll just play it.
For Yorkshire!
Oh, this is.
We all share that sentiment.
He's passion.
He just sent me a text. He recorded that in Wetherspoons in Sheffield. So he is smashed, absolutely smashed.
Oh,
I won't call him straight away.
He'll be
I'll give it a couple of days.
You know what it's like when he's had a drink. I'll catch you guys next week and might catch you if you're listening. Again, God help you, and maybe see you next time. In a bit.